Hey guys, you guys need to clean these beds here, or make these beds.
But we're playing. Yeah. We don't want to.
Okay, well, anyway, it needs to get done. Use your superpowers or whatever.
Bed-making power! Bed-making power! Ta-da!
Wow, that was really fast. How did you guys make the bed so quickly? I don't understand. Well, maybe you can use some magic powers and get your homework done now. Oh, goodness. Alright, lesson 62. This is an easy lesson. I really like it. Mixed numbers as improper fractions. So if you have, let's say, a mixed number such as 2 and 1/4, let's go ahead and change that to an improper fraction. This is a very easy algorithm. You simply take the denominator, you multiply it by the whole number, and then you add it to the numerator. I call it the backward C because you'll see why. I start down here and I come up and around. Backward C. Okay? So I'm going to take 4 times 2. I'm going to get 8. Then I'm going to take, now I have 8, and I'm going to add the numerator, plus 1. Okay? It's called the backward C. Basically, you're saying, okay, so if I had 2 times 4, that would be 8/8. So if you're doing this as a fraction, you'd have 8/8. That equals 2. Plus you have the 1/4. So that's going to be equal to 9/4. And that's what we're going to get up here. Our answer is going to be equal to 8 plus 1 is 9. And then you just keep this common denominator, 9/4. Hey, what do you know? That is the exact same thing we got there. 9/4 equals 9/4. Okay? Why do we even do this? I'm glad you asked. Okay? What's the point of the backward C? Okay, so let me show you the point of it. Now, if you have, let's say, 2 and 1/4, and you want to multiply that by, let's say, 3 and 1/2. Normally, when you multiply fractions, if you didn't have these whole numbers in the way, these fat whole numbers, this would be very easy. You just multiply the two numerators. 1 times 1 is 1. 4 times 2 is 8. Boom. But we have these huge whole numbers in the way. Okay? I don't know if it was 2 and 3 from the beginning. But anyway, let's say we have huge whole numbers in the way. So now you can't just multiply straight across. I had a student in the past. He knows who he is. He's a pretty funny kid. He said the whole numbers are like huge mountains in the way of multiplying the fractions. Well, how do you get rid of mountains? Well, you use some explosive, maybe C4. I call it backward C4. So we're going to get rid of the whole numbers by changing these to improper fractions. Backward C. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1. We're going to get, our new fraction is going to be 9/4. 8 plus 1 is 9. We found the numerator. And then you just keep the same denominator, 4. We're going to multiply that by, notice I'm rewriting the problem below. This is how you should do it on your homework, how I'm demonstrating it here. Now we're going to do another backward C. Okay? 3 times what number? Well, you take the denominator times the whole number. 3 times 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Then you add that numerator, plus 1. You do this whole backward C in order to find the new numerator. 6 plus 1 is 7. And then you don't have to do anything to find the denominator. It's just 2. Cool. Now you multiply straight across. 9 times 7 is going to be 63. 4 times 2 is going to be 8. Now you just do top divided by bottom, because you got an improper fraction. Improper fraction is, let me change this over here so you can see me a little better. Improper fraction is a fat belly with skinny legs. big on top, little on bottom. Okay? You're going to take 63 divided by 8. 8 will go into 63 7 times. 7 times 8 is 56. Subtract. 63 minus 56 is going to be 7. So our fraction is going to be 7 7/8. That's why you do backward C. Okay, so this is on your homework. It says number 4. Homework number 4. It says multiply 1 1/3 times 1 1/2. Can't multiply them because you have whole numbers in the way. So use a little bit of backward C4. 3 times 1 is going to be 3. Notice I take the answer of 3 times 1 and put it there. And then I add the answer of what I got here plus the numerator. So our new numerator is going to be 4. And then I keep the same denominator. Then I'm going to multiply that by the backward C to this. 2 times 1 is 2. Plus the numerator is 1. So 2 plus 1 is 3. I found my new numerator. Keep my old denominator. Oh, cool. You can do some cross canceling. Let's do that in orange. 3 and 3 are both multiples of 3. They're 3 divided by 3, and 3 divided by 3 is 1. Okay, then I can multiply straight across. 4 times 1 is 4. 1 times 2 is 2. Top divided by bottom, 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 is your answer. Alright, so number 11, I'm going to take 4 hundredths times W, and that is going to be equal to 1 5/10. Okay. What side do we start on? The side with a variable. What's opposite multiplying? Dividing. So I'm going to divide this side by 4/10 or 4 hundredths. If I divide one side by 4 hundredths, I got to divide the other side by 4 hundredths. This cancels out. All you have left is W. Okay, so then we have 1 5/10 divided by 4 hundredths. Let's do that as a long division problem. Hopefully you can see. We have 1 5/10 divided by 4 hundredths. Now you can't divide by a decimal number, so I'm going to jump the decimal point 2 places over. 1, 2. If I jump it over 2 places there, I got to jump it here 2 places. 1, 2. So the new problem is going to be, got to add a 0 there. Placeholder 0. New problem is going to be 150 divided by 4. Okay, 4 will go into 15 3 times. 3 times 4 is 12. Subtract. 15 minus 12 is going to be 3. Bring down the 0. Arrow for Ella. 4 will go into 30 about 7 times. 7 times 4 is 28. Subtract. 30 minus 28 is 2. Okay, and so our answer is going to be 37 2/4, which of course is 37 1/2. There's your answer.